There are often going to be times where you want to import existing files into a Pro Tools document, existing audio files. So you're not, obviously this is off if you're not just recording in. I pointed out the region list before. This is where you would be storing those sounds, and there's a variety of ways of importing them. The easiest way, I think, is to just drag and drop sounds, but I'll show you another method as well. So if I go and find a sound that I'm looking to import, drag in recording here, and you can drag it into the audio menu. It highlights, you drop it in, and there it is. That's as simple as that. You can do that with basically all your files. You can also drag it straight onto the into the track into which you want that you want to place it in. So that will work too. This is all new, actually, or relatively new with Pro Tools. It didn't do this for a long time, but it is now finally able to do that. There is also an import command which is tucked away because, again, most of the time you won't need it. But if you go to File and then Import, choose Audio, then it gives you a dialog for importing things, which also obviously allows you to audition sounds as well. So if I choose this Chopin Prelude, I can audition that, I think. There we go. Okay, I'm actually listening on speakers to the other side of the room, so but I think you should be able to hear that quite easily. So you can, if you want to use that method, then double click the sounds that you want. They will appear in the regions to import field here, and then you can just press done and it will import them. Actually, I'm going to do that now because there's something that it will do. Incidentally, it gives you all sorts of information about the type of file as well there, should you wish to see that. Note that in this field it says this particular file must be converted to be used because it is not an audio file type that Pro Tools can use directly. What it means by that is, well, it could be a variety of things. It could be that the bit depth or the sample rate are wrong and it needs to convert them to whatever the format is that Pro Tools has for this particular session, which is 24-bit in this case, so if it's a 16-bit file that does need to be changed. So that's the first thing that it might be. The other thing is that if it's a stereo file, which this is, this frankly is, I think, long overdue for change in Pro Tools, but it needs to split a stereo file into two separate mono files, which seems somewhat clumsy to me, but that's just my opinion. So that's something that it will do, and in fact if I click on Done, it will ask me to choose the destination folder for the new files that are going to be created. Now, by default it goes to the audio files folder for the session that you've just made. Again, bearing in mind that you'll be moving around from computer to computer, you may just want to check that it's going to the right place. But I've just made, if you notice, the name of my session is File Import, so the File Import folder is here. The audio files folder is within it. So I'll choose that, and it converts the file. It also asks you where you want to put that, whether you want a new track for that particular imported file or whether you want to put it in your region list. It's entirely up to you, but I'm just going to put it in the region list because I don't really want any more tracks. So OK that, and up it pops there. You notice that the difference between these two is that this mono file does not have this little triangle here. The triangle is a drop-down list sort of initiator thing, and it brings up both of the files, the two files that I said it would create, which is two mono files for the stereo sound. They are labelled .l.r for left and right, and if you go to the files hierarchy, if you like, for this particular session, and look in audio files, then there they are. So .l.r. You notice incidentally that the recording, this document which I made earlier, has not made it into this folder. this once again is what I was saying. Sometimes if you import things or move things around, they won't be copied to the audio files folder that you happen to be working in at the time. So it's very important that you check that you are not leaving files behind when you move from computer to computer. So in fact, what I should probably do is move this recording.wav file into this audio files folder. What it will do by default is to look in that audio files folder for all the files that it requires for a particular session. So it won't complain, or it shouldn't complain, that I've moved it. It will just look in that audio files folder, find that it's got the right file, and just import that when I reload. So I hope that makes sense. Going back to this, I'm going to get rid of this recording from there, and actually I'm going to stop this particular video now because I can use this one just for the import, and I will move on to another video for talking about how to work within the edit window.